Hey guys, it's Trevor the Great here again with another War Machine battle report. This one is 22 points Mangled Metal. Now we're playing this sort of strange scenario, strange points limits, because I'm playing my buddy John, and he's been in a couple videos previously, but he purchased a Menoth army secondhand, and then realized that it was a pretty suboptimal army. It was all warjacks. It was 5 warjacks, I believe, and 2 casters. And he got it for a really good deal, but it didn't have any troops. It didn't have any support units. So it was not a very good list to begin with. Um, so we decided to play Mangled Metal because, like I said, he has all jacks, and 22 points was the easiest points limit that he could come up with his forces. And what he has in 22 points are a Revenger, which is a light warjack with an arc node, a Crusader, the Avatar of Menoth, and another light warjack, the name I forget, that has a little flamethrower. Somebody probably knows what that's called, but I have no idea. Um, Now I'm playing Kreoss, like always, with my Deneghra army. I have a lot more light warjacks, a lot less heavy warjacks, because really the only heavy warjack I own is my Slayer. So my Slayer's in there, and then I have 2 Night Wretch bonejacks. I have a Defiler bonejack, sorry, 2 Defiler bonejacks, and a Death Ripper bonejack. Um, I would have liked to take more heavy warjacks because those bonejacks, they're hard to hit, and I can arc spells through them, but they just really aren't very good in a game where every warjack really needs to pull their weight to be able to win the game. So, but you know, what can you do? I've been playing John with his list for a while, so I figured that I would play a game on his terms, basically. And so we're playing 22 points Mangled Metal. Real quick here, note here, I took some of the pictures and they were a little fuzzy, so these first few pictures should be a little fuzzy. Sorry about that. I didn't really notice till after I uploaded them, and then it was pretty much too late. So again, really sorry those are fuzzy, but I think you can still see what's going on. So for deployment, it's pretty simple. We all basically just deployed in a line. My plan was to get some of my light bonejacks, especially my Night Wretches and my Defiler, into those woods there to try to possibly arc some debuff spells through them, like Parasite and Crippling Grasp, and then and also get some shots off before the enemy comes into contact and actually starts doing damage. And then once that happens, I can use my Slayer and my Death Ripper to just move in and start destroying enemies, like weakened enemy warjacks. So we'll see how that plan goes. So here's the game after round 1. Obviously round 1 isn't very exciting, just a lot of positioning going on, and that's exactly what happened. My opponent moved up pretty much just straight up. He's going to send the Avatar right down the middle and have that Crusader protect his flanks there, while the little flamethrower dude on the other side is going to try to go into those woods and do some damage to the bonejacks on that side. I allocated focus to my Night Wretches and my Defiler. They moved in. They ran into the woods, although the 2 on the right flank were slowed down by the forest. The one on my left flank had Ghost Walk cast on it, so it was able to move straight through that forest with no penalty. So it's up there waiting for some of those Menoth warjacks to get within range of its little cannon there, and so it can do some damage. But overall, not a too exciting turn. So we'll see what happens on turn 2. So this is the end of round 2. Again, really fuzzy picture. Really sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize until after I'd taken the picture, and it was too late to take another one at that point. So hopefully you can still see what's going on. My Night Wretch in the forest on the right flank. Well, basically, first of all, my opponent moved up. Not too much happened. He moved up to sort of block off my Night Wretch with that Crusader, so my Night Wretch couldn't do any crazy casting shenanigans through to Kreoss. And he moved his little flamethrower light jack up and flamed the Night Wretch on my right side. Now he boosted attack and damage with that weapon and was able to do serious damage to that bonejack. He knocked out both the arc node and the cortex, I believe. So it basically became just a really lame little chassis. It had no effect on the game. It was just a cannon on legs. But with no ability to actually boost itself, which was very sad. Other than that, in my turn, I moved that Night Wretch up to deal some damage to his heavier warjacks on his right flank, my left flank. I cast Scourge through the arc node of that Night Wretch there, after shooting my cannon. I believe the cannon missed, but Scourge was able to knock down the Crusader. Although next turn he'll be able to shake those effects and start getting into combat. I just really wanted to give him something to think about, and so I could reposition my models in the middle, which I did. I have my Slayer and his buddies over there hanging out. Hopefully they're going to be able to take out that Revenger in the middle, because all he's got is a light jack in the middle, and then have a straight beeline to Kreoss. So that's what I'm going to try to do next turn. So here we go. This is the end of the next round. Now, I made a little bit of a mistake here. My opponent basically just he moved around and he shook the knockdown effect with his Crusader, and he attacked that Night Reg there and did a bunch of damage. Although I think I did knock out his mace, so all he had was an open fist, and his mace was severely damaged, so it didn't do any damage at all. He moved up. He stacked focus onto his little flamethrower dude on my right hand flank, and he flamed at the Defiler and did a lot of damage to the Defiler as well. So unfortunately my right flank is not looking too good, and I just could not do damage back to that guy. He had Defender's Ward cast on him from Kreoss, and he had so much armor and so much defense, I just could not get hits through, and even if I did, it wouldn't do anything anyway, because all I have is like POW 12 weapons, and he was up to an armor 19, and it was I was fighting an uphill battle. I think I might have done 1 or 2 points with the Defiler's gun, but that would all. Now I did make a big mistake in the middle, basically just through the fact that I don't really understand the rules well. I'm still learning the game. But what my plan was to make a slam attack with that Death Ripper on the Revenger and knock it down. And then once that was knocked down, the Slayer could charge in and destroy the Revenger, because its melee attacks automatically hit, obviously, and it'll be boosted, and I'll just do a ridiculous amount of damage and just kill it, and then have a straight beeline to Kreoss. Now, what I didn't remember was that if I did a slam power attack, my enemy was booted back d6 inches, and he was booted back 4 inches, which put him out of range of my Slayer's attack. So in order to use that focus, I just charged the Avatar, did a bunch of damage, took out his sword, and then the Death Ripper walked in and tried to do some more damage, but the Avatar's defense was too high at that point because he had his shield remaining, and I wasn't able to do any damage. So the Avatar's going to be able to hit back next turn, and the Revenger and Kreoss are going to be able to get up next turn, and I only did minimal amounts of damage to the Revenger, so it was not really worth it. And basically that was just me doing a herp derp and forgetting what the rules were, but I'm pretty sure I can still pull this game out, because I believe in myself and my ability to pull things out of my ass. So we'll see how we go on the next turn. So here we go. This is going to be the last round of the game. What happened was that in my opponent's turn, Kreoss popped his feet and so knocked all of my jacks down except for the ones in the forest, and except for Deneghra. She was okay. She was just out of his control range. And then he was able to do an enormous amount of damage, because obviously his melee attacks were automatically hitting. He took all but 3 damage boxes off the Slayer. All I had left was 1 arm and my Cortex, I believe. So he lost his movement, he lost 1 of his arms, and he took a crap ton of damage. So he was also able to box that Night Wretch over on my left, and do some damage to the jacks in the forest on my right. But my Slayer was still alive, and that's what counted. So he had charged in with his Revenger onto my Death Ripper and done some damage, but in doing that, he had made a mistake in that he left Kreoss open to a charge from the Slayer. Now the Slayer was in combat with the Avatar, so I don't think my opponent was expecting me to attack, because the Slayer would be boxed immediately as soon as he did that. But what he didn't count on was that Deneghra has Ghost Walk. So Deneghra had cast Ghost Walk on the Slayer, which makes him ghostly, which makes him immune to free strikes. So he literally walked straight through the Avatar right into Kreoss. And then I stacked him full of 3 focus. I was able to use 1 to stand him up, 1 to boost an attack, and then 1 to buy another attack. And that was literally just enough to kill Kreoss and win me the game. So It was a good game. I honestly thought I was going to lose as soon as Kreoss popped his feet, but my opponent did make a mistake in that he left Kreoss open to the Slayer, and that allowed me to just walk right through and get the caster kill right there. Which my opponent was none too happy about, especially considering that the Avatar has a magical reach weapon and couldn't hit a ghostly model walking straight through him, which I agree is sort of strange, but rules are rules, and I'm going to exploit them as I will, because that's how the game works. So, good game to my opponent again, and I bought some new models for this army. Some like you see, I have some Night Rushes, and I'm looking forward to using them more. I also got the Wither Shadow Combine, which is a group of little undead guys who run around, and they can build warjacks on the battlefield. They can turn enemy warjacks into my warjacks, which is so cool. So I look forward to using them in a future battle report. I hope you enjoyed. For more battle reports, check out my channel, check out trevispaintingtable.com, and just keep it classy. See you guys.